Decoding the alpha dog. Why your dog isn't the pack leader. People often ask me which of my 4 dogs is the alpha dog. The answer? None of them. But how is this possible? Have I missed some crucial aspect of my dog's personalities? The truth is, the concept of alpha dogs and pack leaders in domesticated dogs is a myth that just won't go away. Even though it is inaccurate, outdated, and has been well and truly debunked by science. There's actually no such thing as an alpha dog. The concept originated in the 1930s and 1940s, based on observations of captive wolves by a Swiss animal behaviorist called Rudolf Schenkel. Schenkel studied how these wolves behaved in the unnatural setting of captivity. He concluded that wolves have a rigid, military-like hierarchy where an alpha wolf leads the pack through force and intimidation. The problem was that the wolves in captivity were not related to each other and would never have lived together in a natural setting. Living in captivity can induce significant stress due to the confinement and lack of space. Animals may be forced to live in close proximity to each other without adequate opportunities to engage in their natural behaviors. Predictably, tensions can arise. In the wild, wolves are social creatures who collaborate and work together collectively as a team. They care for each other, form individual friendships, and nurture their own elderly, sick, and injured. In a wolf pack, the alpha pair serves primarily as the breeding pair. There is usually only one breeding pair per pack, and their main responsibility is to maintain order and cohesion within the group. Regardless, Schenkel's observations of captive wolves were mistakenly applied to the behavior of wild wolf packs, and to our lovely pet dogs. As a result, unsuspecting dog parents have been led to believe that dogs have a strict pack order with an alpha dog as leader, and other dogs being dominant or submissive. This is neither accurate or appropriate to pet dogs as we know them today. While dominance can exist between dogs, it is primarily a way to determine who has priority access to important resources. Resources can include things like food, toys, and preferred resting spots. But it tends to be flexible. This means that while a dog may compete for control in some situations, he will be quite happy to defer to another dog in others. It depends very much on the individual, the context, and what's at stake. But none of it has anything to do with dominance as a fixed personality trait, or being the alpha dog. Dogs do what they do to get what they want or need. Their behavior is driven by instinct and whatever is motivating them at the time. This also applies to behaviors that may be mistakenly viewed as aggressive or the dog trying to be the alpha dog. For example, if your dog growls at another dog because he has a chew toy, it's not because he is trying to assert his position as the alpha. Instead, he is simply protecting his resource and making sure the other dog knows it's his. Similarly, if one dog stares at another dog, it's not necessarily a sign of aggression or dominance. Eye contact between dogs can simply be a sign of curiosity or a part of play. A hard stare, however, accompanied by a rigid body and tense muscles, is usually a sign of emotional arousal. It may be a warning to stay away or a sign of excitement. It really depends on the context. Another example: if your dog jumps on you when you come home and nips at your hand for attention while barking at your other dog, it's not because he thinks he is the pack leader. Rather, it's because he has learned that this behavior gets him the attention he wants from you. Assigning labels like dominant or submissive to a dog based on isolated incidents misses the mark when it comes to understanding why a dog behaves the way he does. Dogs are social animals, and each individual has their unique personality and preferences, and their own wants and needs. To better understand the alpha dog debate, let's quickly look at free-ranging dogs, and how they organize themselves without humans being involved. Studies on free-ranging dogs near human settlements reveal they usually form groups of 2 to 3, occasionally extending to 5 or 6 dogs. Within the group, the dogs get along peacefully and live as a family. While tension can occur, situations rarely escalate to all-out aggression. During the times of day when the dogs are active, they may come across other groups or dogs as they move around. When this happens, the usual behavior is cautious, calm, and respectful of each other. They generally apply many different strategies to avoid conflict. This shows us that in a natural setting, Dogs value and prioritize social harmony within their groups and with outsiders. It makes sense when you think about it. If dogs were to constantly compete and fight, they could get hurt, injured, or even worse. Free-ranging dogs, just like regular pet dogs, form social bonds with other individuals based on their individual needs and personalities. And just like wolf packs, it makes far more sense for dogs to collaborate and avoid conflict, for the long-term benefit of everyone. The notion of one alpha dog controlling everyone and everything else is completely inaccurate. In the meantime, the better you can read your dogs, the better you can understand why they do what they do. That's why I created a downloadable dog body language cheat sheet. Just click on the link below to get your free copy.